Chapter 3670. The winged men and Wu people's experts sent Lu Ming's words to the dreamy divine Jade, which caused another uproar. What? That brat actually didn't agree? He didn't agree immediately, and he still wants to think about it? What's there to think about? If I were him, I'd agree immediately. Arrogant and ignorant. Who does he think he is? The Lord Heaven personally invited him, and he still wants to think about it? He's really courting death. I hope the Lord Heaven is furious. The dreamy divine Jade was in an uproar. Many people were heartbroken. They wished they were Lu Ming and could replace Lu Ming. Lu Ming actually wanted to consider such an opportunity. Some people were gloating, hoping that the Lord Heaven would be furious. That way Lu Ming would definitely die. Outside the dragon race's home planet, the Lord Heaven's divine light flickered. He clearly wasn't calm. He hadn't expected Lu Ming to refuse. There's no room for consideration. Lu Ming, I'll give you a chance. If you agree immediately, you'll still be the son of heaven of the heavenly palace. You can enjoy the endless resources of the heavenly palace. The heavenly palace continued to speak. This time, there was an unquestionable tone in his voice. The Lord Heaven was a peak expert of the primitive universe. His words carried enormous weight. No one dared to go against his will. No one dared to. He didn't believe that Lu Ming would dare. Unless Lu Ming didn't want to live anymore. The winged men and Wu people's experts were also paying attention. If it were in the past, Lu Ming would really consider it. But now that he knew the inside story, how could Lu Ming possibly agree? He would be a fool to agree. So Lu Ming added, Lord Heaven, I still have things to do. Please allow me to wait for a while. Impudent. As soon as Lu Ming finished speaking, the Lord Heaven roared. Boom! The starry sky trembled as a terrifying aura spread out. Outside the dragon race's mother planet, the entire starry sky was filled with cracks that extended to an unknown location. It's scary. When the Lord of Heaven is angry, the earth shatters and the stars are destroyed. Fortunately, the people of the various races had already retreated far away, and were not affected. As for the mother planet of the dragon clan, it was not affected much by the 10,000 dragon seals. The Lord Heaven is angry. Could it be that Lu Ming refused? Well said. Stupid, he's dead for sure. Everyone discussed and then continued to wait. Outside the dragon race's home planet, the Lord of Heaven's eyes were brighter than two suns as he stared at Lu Ming. Even though there were 10,000 dragon seals between them, Lu Ming still felt a powerful pressure. Are you rejecting this monarch? The Lord of Heaven spoke again. His voice was even colder than before. I said to wait for a while. Since the Lord of Heaven wants to think so, that's fine. Lu Ming said indifferently. He didn't want to agree in the first place. Since waiting for a while wasn't enough, he might as well refuse. Haha. Lu Ming's words made the golden winged race's experts, the Wu people's experts, and the others laugh in their hearts. Of course, they only laughed in their hearts and didn't dare to show it. If they did, wouldn't it be a slap to the Lord of Heaven's face? Then they immediately sent this news to the illusory godly Jade. Lu Ming rejected it. He really rejected it. There's actually such a stupid person in the world. He doesn't even want the throne. Idiot, a real idiot. If you don't want it, give it to me. Damn it, damn it. Countless people wailed, roared, and were unwilling to accept it. Of course, there were also many who gloated. Boom. Outside the dragon race's mother planet, the Lord of Heaven's aura became even more terrifying. The divine light on his body shrouded the sun. Countless dragon humans were panicking all over the dragon race's mother planet. They looked at the outer region in horror, feeling that a disaster was imminent. Do you think that I can't do anything to you just because you're hiding in the dragon race's mother planet and protected by 10,000 dragon seals? The Lord of Heaven spoke. His voice was filled with killing intent. Originally, he wanted to use the throne to trick Lu Ming into going to the heavenly palace. After that, he would directly suppress Lu Ming, obliterate Lu Ming's spiritual will, and turn Lu Ming into a puppet of the heavenly palace. He would become a sharp blade of the heavenly palace. He didn't expect that Lu Ming would reject it. Could it be that Lu Ming knew the secret of the forbidden power? No matter what, The heavenly palace would never allow someone who had fused with the forbidden power to still be alive and kicking. Because in history, the heavenly palace had suffered a great loss because of this. All races, listen up, especially the top 100 races. Go and call all the geniuses below the Divine Emperor realm. I will send them into the dragon race's mother planet to kill Lu Ming. If he's alive, I want to see him. If he's dead, I want to see his corpse. Whoever can bring him to me will be conferred the title of Heavenly Daughter. The Lord of Heaven's voice spread across the starry sky. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Suddenly, voices rang out in the starry sky. Then, the experts of the various races quickly sent the news back to their headquarters. You want to send in stronger geniuses to kill me? As long as they're below the Divine Emperor realm, they can be sent in? Lu Ming's face was a little solemn. The Lord of Heaven's means are unfathomable. Now that the power of the 10,000 dragon seals has decreased, we don't know if he can really do it. We have to be careful, Aoyan said. Then what should we do? Aoguan was a little anxious. Their cultivation was still too weak. If anyone below the Divine Emperor realm could come in, they wouldn't be able to fight against them, especially the top 100 races of the ancient desolate 10,000 races. There were definitely some peerless geniuses among them, and their cultivation was at the 7th, 8th, or even 9th level of the Divine Emperor realm. They could kill them with a flip of their hand. You all stay here and observe the situation. I'll go and make some arrangements. I'll come to you later, Aoyan said to Lu Ming and the others. After saying that, her figure flashed and she left the place. Lu Ming and the others stood on the surface of the sea and waited quietly. They wanted to know if the Lord of Heaven could really send in so many powerful geniuses. Time passed by day. Lu Ming found out through the illusory divine jade that some terrifying geniuses among the various races were rushing to the dragon race's mother planet. Originally, with the strength of the 10,000 dragon seals, it was impossible for these people to enter the dragon race's mother planet in a short period of time. Even if the 10,000 dragon seals weakened again after a few decades, it would still be impossible for these 7th-level divine emperors and above to enter. But now, the Lord of Heaven had spoken, and these geniuses were extremely excited. Entering the dragon race's mother planet, not only could they kill Lu Ming, but they also had a chance to obtain the position of Heavenly Daughter. In addition, the opportunities in the dragon race's mother planet were also very tempting. Of course, the distance between the various races and the dragon race's mother planet varied. Some races were quite far away from the dragon race's mother planet. Even with the wormhole, it would still take a long time. It wasn't until half a month later that a large number of geniuses from various races gathered outside the dragon race's mother planet. Wait a moment. I'll open a gap in the 10,000 dragon seals. Hurry up and rush in through the gap. Do you understand? Remember, those above the Divine Emperor realm, don't move. The backlash from the 10,000 dragon seals will be very strong. It will kill you, the Lord of Heaven said. Understood. The geniuses of various races shouted. Chapter 3671. Next, the Lord of Heaven of the Heavenly Palace made his move. His body emitted boundless divine light, and the starry sky began to tremble. Then the boundless divine light gathered into a battle sword and slashed down at the dragon race's mother planet. Dazzling, incomparably dazzling, so dazzling that people couldn't open their eyes. Rumble. Before the battle sword slashed down, the entire dragon race's mother planet shook violently, as if it was about to explode. Of course, this was an illusion. The dragon race's mother planet was born from the primordial chaos when heaven and earth were first created. How could it be destroyed so easily? If it could, it would have been destroyed in the battle back then. Roar! In the next moment, a dragon's roar shook the sky, and the entire dragon race's mother planet lit up. Then, an incomparably huge dragon claw reached out, grabbing at the dazzling sword light. 10,000 dragon seals activated. Boom! A terrifying explosion sounded, and it was as if dozens of stars had exploded in the starry sky. The dragon race's mother planet shook violently once again, and the seawater tumbled, causing a tsunami and huge waves hundreds of meters high. Lu Ming, Aoguan, and the others opened their eyes wide, gathering their divine power in their eyes as they stared at the sky. Open! The Lord of Heaven shouted, and his voice shook the universe. Pure white divine power burst out crazily, gathering into an even bigger battle sword and slashing down. The Lord of Heaven was really too strong. Who knew how high his cultivation had reached? Above the divine emperor realm, or above, no one knew. It was too far away from Lu Ming. Roar! The dragon's roar shook the sky, and the 10,000 dragon seals were activated. It was as if 10,000 divine dragons were roaring at the same time. Lu Ming vaguely saw a huge divine dragon curling its body, forming a circle around the entire dragon race's mother planet. Roar! This divine dragon let out a shocking roar, and stretched out a dragon claw, grabbing at the Lord of Heaven's battle sword. Another violent explosion sounded out. Strength overflowed in all directions. The dragon claw and the battle sword shattered at the same time. However, the Lord of Heaven made a grabbing motion, and a gigantic hand appeared, grabbing towards the 10,000 dragon seal. Then, the Lord of Heaven tried to tear the 10,000 dragon seal apart. However, the 10,000 dragon seal was not that easy to break. Dragon roars rang out as more dragon claws reached out and clawed at the claw formed by the Lord of Heaven. At this moment, another figure suddenly appeared beside the Lord of Heaven. This figure was also extremely huge, and its entire body emitted a pure white holy light. Shockingly, there were 6 pairs of pure white wings on his back. There were a total of 12 wings. A 12-winged angel of the angel race, thought appeared in Lu Ming's mind. Lord of Heaven, let me help you. The 12-winged angel's voice rang out. Boundless divine light enveloped it, and it transformed into an angel sword that slashed at the dragon claw. This 12-winged angel's cultivation was terrifying. Its combat power was actually not any weaker than the Lord of Heaven's. The pure white sword condensed from holy light slashed down, directly blocking the dragon claw's attack. Lu Ming discovered that the angel race's divine energy and attack method were very similar to the Lord of Heaven's. No wonder it was rumored that the angel race's backer was the Heavenly Palace. With the 12-winged angel blocking the dragon claw, the Lord of Heaven's hands were freed. With a shout, he waved his hands and 2 huge palms appeared. He grabbed at the 10,000 dragon seal, and then tore it apart. Rumble crack, terrifying explosions rang out, and the stars shook. Then everyone saw that the 10,000 dragon seal had actually been torn apart by a crack. Although it was very small, it was really torn open. Lu Ming, Ao Guan, and the others' expressions changed. At this time, a figure appeared beside Lu Ming and the others. It was Ao Yen. Ao Yen looked at the sky, her expression very grave. It seems that the 10,000 dragon seal has really weakened a lot. Ao Yen muttered. Back then, when the 10,000 dragon seal had just been formed, not to mention 1 or 2 existences on the level of the Lord of Heaven, even 8 or 10 of them wouldn't be able to break it. In these past years, the 10,000 dragon seal had indeed become weaker. Nothing could stop the erosion of time. All of you go in. Quickly. The Lord of Heaven shouted, allowing the various races' geniuses to take the opportunity to charge into the dragon race's mother planet. Charge. Immediately, the various races' geniuses charged toward the crack. The ones at the front were the demon-level geniuses from the top 10 races on the desolate 10,000 races board. However, when they reached the crack, they were blocked by a terrifying force. They were unable to move forward at all. There was even a monstrous genius with the highest cultivation, a quasi-emperor realm genius. With a miserable scream, his body directly exploded. This was a terrifying genius of the angel race, and he died just like that. Not good. The top 10 races' geniuses frantically retreated in fright. However, there were some monstrous geniuses from races ranked below the top 10. They charged through without being affected. Damn it! The Lord of Heaven roared. The top 10 races' geniuses, back off. Your bloodlines are too strong, and you're being targeted by the 10,000 dragon seal. Don't go in. The other races' geniuses, quickly go in. They can't go in. The eyes of the geniuses below the top 10 lit up. The fact that the top 10 races' geniuses couldn't go in was great news for them. There would be less competition. As for the top 10 races' geniuses, their expressions were ugly. Such a huge opportunity had slipped away just like that. They were unwilling. "Quick, I can't hold on for much longer," shouted the Lord of Heaven. Whoosh! A large number of geniuses charged into the crack. In just a few breaths' time, several hundred people had charged in. "All right, everyone else, back off," the Heavenly Lord yelled, and a surge of energy shot out from his body, pushing the rest of the elites back. The number of geniuses that had come was shocking. There were naturally more than a few hundred of them. However, the Lord of Heaven couldn't hold on for much longer. The backlash from the 10,000 dragon seal was too strong. He could only open the crack for a few breaths' time. Following that, the Lord of Heaven's body trembled, and he retreated a few steps. The two hands he had condensed collapsed, and the crack also disappeared. Damn it. It's too bad we didn't make it in time. Those people really got lucky. The remaining geniuses were bitter and hateful. They cursed themselves for being a step too slow, and missing such a good thing. They were envious, jealous, and resentful. In their view, among the several hundred people who had just entered, there would definitely be someone who would become a heavenly son or heavenly daughter. "All right, all we have to do is wait," said the Lord of Heaven. He retreated with the 12-winged angel, and the light around him dimmed. Now that the geniuses had been sent in, all they had to do was wait. On the dragon race's mother planet, above the sea. After the Lord of Heaven tore open a crack in the 10,000 dragon seal, Lu Ming, Ao Yan, and the others left the sea. "We can't fight these people. We can only avoid them for now. Follow me," Ao Yan said, and charged into the sea. Lu Ming, Ao Guan, and the others also charged into the sea. They swam into the distance. Chapter 3672. Lu Ming wasn't an impulsive person. The monstrous geniuses that came in this time weren't people they could deal with. The top 100 existences on the Great Desolate 10,000 Races board were definitely terrifyingly talented. Furthermore, the cultivation limit was below the Divine Emperor realm. That meant that the people that came in were all 7th level Divine Lords or above. That was because they had already seen Lu Ming's strength. If their cultivation bases were too low, they wouldn't be Lu Ming's match at all. So the people that came in this time were definitely monstrous geniuses with extremely high cultivation bases. What could Lu Ming and the others use to fight against such geniuses? Being impulsive would only lead to death. Lu Ming and the others followed Ao Yan through the seabed. After a while, they arrived at a small island. The island was filled with restrictive spells. This island is called Punglai Island. It's very hidden and covered with restrictions. If we go in, those people outside won't be able to find us. Ao Yan formed a hand seal and opened the restrictions. They entered the island. What a spacious island. What dense divine qi. Lu Ming's eyes lit up the moment they entered the island. This island was incomparably huge, like a continent. Clearly, someone had used spatial folding techniques on Punglai Island. It looked small from the outside, but it was incomparably huge once they entered. Furthermore, the divine qi was extremely dense. It was even denser than Black Dragon Valley and Golden Dragon Ridge. The island was lush and full of vitality. They could smell the medicinal fragrance from afar. There were definitely many shocking divine herbs growing here. It's not bad to enter seclusion here. Lu Ming muttered. "All right, we'll enter seclusion here. Brother Lu, you have the illusory divine jade. Can you use it to observe the outside world?" said Ao Yan. "Of course." Lu Ming smiled and immediately took out the illusory divine jade to check. There was a commotion in the illusory divine jade. At one glance, Lu Ming knew that the number of monstrous geniuses who had entered this time was in the hundreds. They definitely won't be able to find this place. Let's cultivate here first. There are many divine herbs here. Once our cultivation bases increase, we'll go out and kill them all. Ao Yan said. "All right, it's cold. When the time comes, we'll make sure these people don't return." Ao Guan shouted coldly, his eyes ferocious. Everyone spread out to find a place to cultivate. Not long after Lu Ming and the others entered the bottom of the sea, the hundreds of geniuses who had entered from the outside had already arrived at the sea area where Lu Ming and the others had landed. They have left. They must be in the sea. Chase them. Spread out and chase after them, Whoever catches up to them will be considered lucky. Hundreds of geniuses rushed into the sea and spread out, chasing in all directions. However, they were destined to not be able to find Lu Ming. After chasing for some distance, they simply could not find any trace of Lu Ming and the others. Humph, the dragon race's mother planet is only so big. Let's see where you can run to. Even if I have to search the entire dragon race's mother planet, I will find you. The hundreds of geniuses spread out. Some continued to search for Lu Ming and the others in the sea, while others went to the 3 continents to search for Lu Ming and the others. Previously, there were still many geniuses from the various races who had not left. The people who had entered later gathered those people and searched everywhere for Lu Ming and the others. However, in the end they were all in vain. Time passed day by day, but they still could not find any trace of Lu Ming and the others. Penglai Island on a small mountain peak, Lu Ming was sitting cross-legged cultivating. It had already been half a year, ever since the Lord of Heaven had torn the 10,000 dragon seal and allowed the geniuses from the outside world to enter. Half a year had passed. During this half a year, Lu Ming had been cultivating on Penglai Island. His main cultivation direction was to control the taboo energy. That was because he realized that if he couldn't completely control the taboo energy, he wouldn't be able to use any other energy, let alone cultivate. Half a year was really too short. Although Lu Ming felt that his control of the taboo energy had increased, he was still a distance away from completely controlling it. Even so, Lu Ming felt that his strength had increased by a lot. As long as he controlled his muscles and bones, he could feel power erupting from every cell. When this power erupted, it was very shocking. Although he didn't use any secret techniques, when this power erupted, it was much stronger than when he used his secret techniques in the past. Roar. Meanwhile, a dragon's roar could be heard coming from another direction, followed by a powerful aura. Aoyan also broke through. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He knew that Aoyan had broken through. She had broken through from the 4th level of the Divine Lord Realm to the 5th level of the Divine Lord Realm. Aoyan's strength was already extremely strong. Now that she had broken through to the 5th level of the Divine Lord Realm, her battle strength had undoubtedly increased. Actually, in this half a year, Ao Guan, Ao Chung, and the other 4 8-clawed divine dragons' cultivation had also broken through one level one after another. Penglai Island's cultivation environment was too good. Furthermore, it was filled with divine medicines. Ao Guan and the rest used these divine medicines to cultivate every day. The cultivation conditions were even better than when the Dragon Clan was at their peak. Their cultivation naturally increased very quickly. After all, when the Dragon Clan was at their peak, there were too many Dragon Clan members. The resources allocated to each Dragon Clan member was naturally limited. How was it like now, eating divine medicines like rice? In this half a year, Ao Guan and Ao Cheng's cultivation had reached the 4th level of the Divine Lord Realm. With their battle strength, their cultivation reaching the 4th level of the Divine Lord Realm was enough to compare with the 7th level Divine Lord Realm 2-headed werewolf prodigy back then. Their overall strength had soared by a large margin. Lu Ming stopped and headed in the direction where Ao Yin was. When he arrived, he saw that Ao Guang, Ao Chung, and the rest had all come. A silver 9-clawed dragon with a slender dragon body was coiled on a mountain peak. Between heaven and earth, endless divine qi rushed toward the silver 9-clawed dragon and was absorbed by her. A few hours later, Ao Yan's aura stabilized. She twisted her dragon body and transformed into human form. "Princess, you've broken through. That's great." Ao Ching smiled. "All right, Princess. Let's kill our way out now. Those despicable fellows keep killing the dragon human clan members to threaten us. They deserve to die." Ao Guan gritted his teeth, his killing intent cold. "Let's take a look first." Ao Yin nodded. Then she formed a seal with both hands. Suddenly, images appeared in the sky. There were hundreds of images, projecting different mountains and rivers. These images were all images of various places on the Dragon Clan's mother planet. Back then, when the Heavenly Palace's Lord of Heaven attacked the 10,000 dragon seals, Ao Yin had left for a period of time. During this period of time, She had contacted the dragon-human clan members all over the place and set up mini surveillance arrays. These grand monitoring formations were able to project images of the area they were in. During this period of time, they had watched the situation outside through the surveillance arrays. Some images were empty. There was no one in them. But in some images, there were people. Some were only the dragon-human clan, but in some images, there were also prodigies from the outside world. Chapter 3673. For example, one of the scenes. Tell me, where are those 9-clawed dragon and that Lu Ming? One of the geniuses from the outside world held a jade talisman in his hand. The jade talisman glowed and a portrait appeared. It was really a portrait of Lu Ming and the others. The geniuses from the outside world were interrogating a group of dragon humans. We don't know, we haven't seen them at all. A dragon human cried out. In that case, what's the point of keeping you alive? The geniuses from the outside world shouted coldly and struck out with his palm. One by one, the dragon humans exploded and were killed. There was not only one such situation, but several other places. In the past half a year, such a situation had happened frequently. In fact, Lu Ming had seen many such videos in the illusory space. The geniuses from the outside world had deliberately recorded these videos and placed them in the illusory space to provoke Lu Ming and force Lu Ming to come out. How dare you? Kill our way out and kill these bastards. Ao Guan roared angrily. Lu Ming, Ao Yan, and the others also had killing intent in their eyes. These people's methods were too despicable. We have to kill our way out, but we can't rashly do so. These people from the outside world might have given us a chance, but we can't figure out their strength. If we want to kill a 9th-level divine lord or even a quasi-emperor, then not only will we not be able to kill them, but we will also lose our lives, Ao Yan said. She was much calmer than Ao Guan. Princess Ao Yan is right. We can kill them one by one, but we have to figure out their cultivation first. It won't be too late to take action then. Lu Ming nodded. Some dragon humans and I have set up surveillance arrays everywhere. This is very beneficial for our operation. We can slowly observe their cultivation in the dark. Ao Yan said. After discussing the plan, they began to take action. Ao Yan let the 4 8-clawed divine dragons continue to cultivate on Penglai Island while she, Lu Ming, Ao Cheng, and Ao Guan set off. It was easier to move with fewer people, but more people would be more disadvantageous. They left Penglai Island and headed for the Dragon Spirit continent. They silently entered the Dragon Spirit continent and arrived at a mountain range. Outside the 10,000 dragon seals on the Dragon Clan's mother planet, the Lord of Heaven, an almighty angel, naturally couldn't spy on the Dragon Clan's mother planet all the time. After all, with the cover of the 10,000 dragon seals, it was impossible to see the situation inside the Dragon Clan's mother planet from the outside. Only a cloud of smoke could be seen. Of course, an expert like the Lord of Heaven could still see through the 10,000 dragon seal if he wanted to. However, maintaining this state consumed a lot of energy. Even the Lord of Heaven couldn't maintain it for a long time. That was why Lu Ming and the others dared to come out. They weren't afraid of being spied on. Ao Yan waved her hand, and a picture appeared in the air. This is the Ziming Mountain, it's not far from us. There are 2 incredible geniuses from the outside world here. Let's observe their cultivation levels first before attacking. Ao Yan said. After the plan was made, they headed towards the Ziming Mountain and laid an ambush there. There were 2 powerful geniuses on the Ziming Mountain. They were monstrous figures of the Ziying clan. After secretly observing, they finally came to the conclusion that these 2 monstrous geniuses of the Ziying clan were at the 7th level Divine Lord realm. They could attack. Now, the strength of the 4 of them had improved greatly compared to half a year ago. The other party was only at the 7th level Divine Lord realm, so they could definitely attack. Attack! Ao Yan shouted softly, and the 4 of them rushed towards the Ziming Mountain. Who is it? As soon as Lu Ming and the others rushed out, their power caused a fluctuation, and they were immediately discovered by the 2 monstrous geniuses of the Ziying clan. Their figures rushed into the sky, and purple lightning burst out of their eyes as they scanned Lu Ming and the others. It's them. It's Lu Ming and the nine-clawed dragon. How dare they take the initiative to attack us? Not only were the two monstrous geniuses of the Ziying clan fearless, but they also looked excited. They turned into two purple lights and rushed towards Lu Ming and the others. Their bodies were completely covered by purple divine light, and their strongest attacks, such as their origin source secret technique, were all unleashed. One of the monstrous geniuses of the Ziying clan directly attacked Lu Ming. His palm was like a knife, and it slashed towards Lu Ming. There was a wisp of purple qi in his palm. This was his origin source secret technique, and it was extremely terrifying. Boom. Lu Ming still couldn't use his divine power, so his attack was still very direct. He directly punched out. Boom. Lu Ming's fist collided with the palm of the monstrous genius of the Ziying clan, and there was a violent explosion. At the same time, there were sounds of bones breaking, and then a figure retreated. It was the Ziying clan's genius, and Lu Ming's figure only swayed a little. The Ziying clan, ranked 99th on the list of 10,000 primitive races, is indeed powerful. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Now his control of the forbidden power was stronger, and the power that he could unleash was also stronger. His battle strength was also stronger than half a year ago. Half a year ago, he could already kill a 7th-level divine lord from the two-headed wolf clan with his bare hands. Although the monstrous genius of the Ziying clan in front of him was also a 7th-level divine lord, his battle strength was stronger than the two-headed wolf clans. Indeed, the higher the rank of a race on the list of 10,000 primitive races, the stronger their bloodline power, and the stronger their battle strength in a battle of the same level. Of course, this was the average level, and there was no lack of exceptions. The Ziying clan's genius was even more shocked when his hand was broken by Lu Ming's punch, and there was disbelief in his eyes. In his eyes, Lu Ming was just a 3rd-level divine lord. Kill! Lu Ming yelled and dashed out, charging toward the prodigy of the Ziying clan. At the same time, there was a dragon roar as Ao Guan rushed over to assist Lu Ming. After Ao Guan broke through to the 4th-level divine lord, his battle strength increased greatly. Although he might not be a match for the Ziying clan's genius in a one-on-one fight, he could still pose a great threat to his opponent. The 9 dragon claws kept clawing at the Ziying clan's genius. The genius waved his palm continuously, and purple light burst out, blocking Ao Guan's attack. But in this way he put himself in a dead end. Lu Ming punched continuously, and in an instant, dozens of punches were thrown out. Dozens of terrifying fist forces crushed toward the genius of the Ziying clan like a storm. Ah! The Ziying clan's genius roared, and his purple hair danced wildly. Divine light burst out as he resisted with all his strength. However, he was still no match. He could only block a portion of the fist forces, and the rest of the fist forces bombarded his body, almost causing him to explode. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and his body cracked. In the end, Lu Ming punched through his glabella, obliterating his soul and killing him completely. On the other side, Ao Yin and Ao Cheng joined forces to finish the battle. The other genius of the Ziying clan was also very strong, not weaker than the one who fought with Lu Ming. But now that Ao Yan's cultivation was at the 5th-level Divine Lord realm, she could completely crush her opponent. With Ao Cheng, they quickly killed this person. This trip was very easy. Chapter 36-74. Haha awesome. Ao Guan laughed loudly. Previously, through the surveillance array, he had seen the 2 monsters from the Ziying race killing the dragon humans. Ao Guan had long wanted to kill them. Now that he had successfully killed them, Ao Guan felt extremely carefree. Lu Ming, did you record the scene just now with the illusory divine jade? Then, Ao Guan looked at Lu Ming again. Yes. Lu Ming nodded. Ha great. Ao Guan laughed loudly. Then Lu Ming sent the scene of the battle to the illusory divine space. This was their powerful counterattack to the various races. If anyone wanted to deal with them and kill the dragon humans, they would have to face their revenge. It's Lu Ming, that kid. Damn it, is he threatening us? Where is he? It seems to be in the dragon spirit continent. Let's go and kill them. The monsters from various races were furious and rushed to Purple Bright Mountain from various places. Of course, Lu Ming and the others would not be so stupid to stay at Purple Bright Mountain, and wait for others to kill them. After Lu Ming sent the video to the illusory divine space, they left Purple Bright Mountain and came to a secret place. The dragon race's mother planet was the home of Ao Yen, Ao Guan, and the others. They knew many secret places, and it was too easy to find a place to hide. After hiding, they would use the surveillance array to monitor the various places. Sure enough, not long after, a large number of monsters gathered at Purple Bright Mountain. However, they naturally did not find anything. They searched the area around Purple Bright Mountain, but could not find Lu Ming and the others. They could only leave dejectedly. Lu Ming and the others continued to look for targets that they could attack. 7 days later, they found their targets again. The other party also had 2 7th-level Divine Lord monstrous heavens chosen, plus some heavens chosen below 5th-level Divine Lord. Those 5th-level Divine Lords and below were naturally left behind by those who had entered before. In the end, more than 10 of them were wiped out by Lu Ming and the others. The video was sent to the illusory divine space and caused a commotion. However, when these people reached their destination, Lu Ming and the others had already left. Damn it, you can only be a coward and sneak attack in the dark. Despicable and shameless. Don't let me find you, or I'll grind your bones to dust. Many people roared in the dream realm, and even took videos to provoke Lu Ming and the others. However, Lu Ming and the others couldn't be bothered. They had already secretly returned to Punglai Island. This time, he had killed a few of the other party's prodigies in a row. It was a powerful counterattack. However, with their current strength, it was not appropriate for them to clash head-on with the other party. Encountering a 7th or 8th level Divine Lord was still fine. But if he encountered a 9th level Divine Lord or a Quasi-Emperor, then it would be dangerous. Furthermore, if Xiao Chen ran into someone ranked very high, such as someone ranked in the top 10 of the Great Desolate Aeon's 10,000 races, he would be in danger. Of course, Lu Ming and the others already knew that the top 10 races of the Desolate 10,000 races board would not be able to enter. To them, this was a blessing in disguise. Now they could only continue to cultivate and increase their strength. Only then would they be able to contend against these people. After returning to Punglai Island, they continued to cultivate while paying attention to the situation outside. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, another half a year had passed. At this time, Lu Ming felt that he had complete control of the taboo power. Any casual attack could erupt with terrifying power. At the same time, Lu Ming could already use all kinds of divine power. However, Lu Ming discovered a major problem. That was, his divine power could not be increased. When he could control his divine power, he was prepared to refine the divine medicine to increase his cultivation. However, when he refined the divine medicine, the energy of the divine medicine spread to every part of his body, scattering into every cell. To be more precise, there was a strong attractive force in each of his cells that absorbed the medicinal power. None of it was distributed to his divine power. Lu Ming tried more than 10 times and refined more than 10 divine medicines, but the result was the same. Lu Ming finally gave up. No way, could it be that my cultivation can't be increased in the future? Will I forever stay at the 3rd level of the Divine Lord realm? Lu Ming wailed. This was a major blow to him. Could it be that I have to cultivate the taboo power in the future? The problem is, how do I cultivate the taboo power? Lu Ming sighed. Although he felt that he had complete control of the taboo power now, allowing his combat strength to increase again, he did not know how to increase the taboo power at all. He asked Guemo this question, but Guemo also did not know. Lu Ming was speechless. Roar. 2 dragon roars came from afar. Ao Guan Ao Cheng broke through again. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. Ao Guan and Ao Cheng broke through consecutively. Their cultivation had already reached the 5th level of the Divine Lord realm. Ao Yen had not broken through yet, and was still at the 5th level of the Divine Lord realm. However, she had already reached the peak of the 5th level of the Divine Lord realm. He believed that it would not be long before she could break through too. This speed could be said to be shocking. Lu Ming flew over, and discovered 2 9-clawed dragons flying in the sky. Not long after, they transformed into human form. Haha, Lu Ming, how is your cultivation? Ao Guan laughed. It's so-so. Lu Ming sighed. Seeing Ao Guan and the rest break through, he was extremely envious. Come, let's go find Princess and see the situation outside. Ao Guan smiled and headed towards the center of Penglai Island with Lu Ming and Ao Cheng. That was where Ao Yan was in seclusion. When they found Ao Yan, they saw that Ao Yan's expression was somewhat ugly. It was even filled with killing intent. Ao Guan and the rest's hearts sank. Princess, what's wrong? Ao Guan asked. Look. After Ao Yan finished speaking, she waved her hands and an image appeared in the air. On a mountain peak, a large group of dragon men were tied up and kneeling on the ground. The number was shocking. There were at least tens of thousands of them. There was even a huge 8-clawed divine dragon lying on the ground powerlessly. On the side, there were some monstrous geniuses from various races who were staring coldly at these dragon men. I'll repeat myself. I know that you have set up surveillance arrays everywhere, and can see the situation here. Even if you can't, it doesn't matter. We'll send it to the illusory space. Now Lu Ming and your 9-clawed dragon, get over here obediently. Otherwise, I'll kill a dragon man every minute. A young man in a golden robe said coldly. After he finished speaking, he clenched his fist and grabbed a dragon man girl. No, don't. The dragon man girl was horrified. She kept struggling as tears flowed down her face. However, the young man in the golden robe's eyes were cold. Now 1 minute is up. Kill. The young man in the golden robe shouted coldly. With a squeeze of his dragon power, the dragon man girl was killed. Damn bastards. Ao Guan roared furiously. Killing a person every minute. How many dragon men had these people killed? It was obvious that the other party wanted to use this method to force them out. Chapter 3675. Winged Men. Lu Ming muttered with a cold look in his eyes. The golden-robed youth had a pair of golden wings on his back. He was clearly a monstrous genius of the winged men. A golden winged man. He had also entered when the Lord of Heaven tore the 10,000 dragon seal. He was definitely powerful. He wanted to use this method to force Lu Ming and the others to show themselves. Lu Ming, look at the illusory heavenly jade. Ao Guan faced Lu Ming. Lu Ming's glabella shone, and the illusory heavenly jade appeared. Then Lu Ming saw some videos that were posted by those people just now. With a thought, the videos appeared in the air for everyone to see. It was similar to before. These people were clamoring to kill the dragon men at the same time. You can continue to hide. I'll give you 3 days. If you don't show up in 3 days, I'll kill this 8-clawed divine dragon, drink its blood and roast its meat. An 8-clawed divine dragon. Its meat must be delicious. Its blood is also very nutritious. Hahaha, remember, my name is Wuxia. In the last video, the monster from the Winged Men clan laughed heartily. Damn it, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to kill this bastard. Ao Guan was furious. His eyes were red. Don't be rash. They're obviously trying to force us out. There must be a trap there. They want to catch us all in one fell swoop. Ao Yan stopped Ao Guan. Although she was also very angry, she did not lose her mind. Then what should we do? Do we just watch these bastards kill the dragon men and eat the flesh of our dragon race? I can't stand it. At most I'll die. It's better than this. Ao Guan roared in anger. We need to think about this at length. Ao Yan said with a frown. It's not completely impossible to kill our way out. At this time Lu Ming spoke. Brother Lu, do you have a good plan? Ao Yan's eyes lit up. They must have set up traps in the vicinity of that mountain peak. For example, slaughtering formations and the like. Thus, even if we are to fight, we cannot fight on that mountain peak. Furthermore, before we act, we must ascertain our opponent's cultivation. If there's an opponent we can't fight against, then we'll only be sending ourselves to our deaths. We won't be of any use. Lu Ming said. Then how do we lure them away? How do we know their cultivation bases? Lu Ming, don't hide it anymore. Just tell me. You're making me uncomfortable. Ao Guan said somewhat anxiously. Simple, we will set up an ambush near that mountain peak. Then I will lure them out. Lu Ming said. It's too dangerous for you to lure them. Ao Yan, Ao Guan, and the others' expressions changed. Don't worry. Now that I have complete control over that strand of energy, I can use the secret techniques of the origin source. Coupled with that energy, my speed is extremely fast. Even if they have quasi-emperors, I'm confident that I can escape. Right now the Heavenly Palace's target is me. As long as they can take me down, they can become the Heavenly Prince or Heavenly Daughter. This is an extremely huge temptation. Thus, as long as I appear, they will definitely chase after me. This way, we can lure them out of that mountain peak, and at the same time, see their cultivation bases. Lu Ming said. Ao Yan and the others pondered. They wouldn't be in danger if they did that, but it would be a huge crisis for Lu Ming. If the other party had someone who specialized in speed, then it would be troublesome. How can we not fight? If this continues, we'll be too passive. We must kill them until they're terrified. Only then will they restrain themselves. Lu Ming said with a cold glint in his eyes. All right, let's do it. Ao Guan shouted. In the end, Ao Yan and Ao Cheng also nodded in agreement. Just like last time, the 4 8-clawed divine dragons stayed on Penglai Island. Although they also wanted to participate in the battle, Ao Yan's attitude was firm. The 4 8-clawed divine dragon's strength was still a bit weak. The 8-clawed divine dragons seemed very close to the 9-clawed dragon, but their talent and bloodlines were very different. In a battle of the same level, the difference between an 8-clawed divine dragon and a 9-clawed dragon was very large. After discussing, they set off. Wuxia and the others had already sent out the location. They were afraid that Lu Ming and the others wouldn't go. Their destination was the Wind God Mountain Range. Thus, they used their fastest speed to head towards the Wind God Mountain Range. In just 2.5 days, they arrived near the Wind God Mountain Range. Then Ao Yan, Ao Cheng, and Ao Guan found a secret place to hide. As for Lu Ming, he was responsible for luring Wuxia and the others. Brother Lu, be careful. Ao Yan and the others were a bit worried. Don't worry. Lu Ming smiled, and then headed towards the Wind God Mountain Range. On the highest peak of the Wind God Mountain Range, Wuxia and the others were on this peak. It seems Lu Ming and those cowards don't dare to come. Let's see how long they can hide. If they don't appear for a day, I'll kill them for a day. If they don't appear for a year, I'll kill them for a year. Wuxia sneered. His eyes were filled with brutal killing intent, as well as burning greed. Yes, greed. As long as he killed Lu Ming and handed over Lu Ming's corpse to the Heavenly Palace's Lord of Heaven, he would become the Son of Heaven of the Heavenly Palace. In addition, the Golden Winged Race's supreme expert had promised him a huge reward. As long as he could take down Lu Ming, he would soar. In the future, it wouldn't be impossible for him to become one of the overlords of the desolate universe. When he thought of that, his heart burned with passion. Bang! Wuxia casually killed a dragon man and roared. Lu Ming, hurry up and come out. I can't wait any longer. At this moment, an excited shout was heard. Lu Ming is here. Someone shouted. Wuxia's gaze quickly turned to the front. In the distant sky, a young figure was walking over. This person was, of course, Lu Ming. He's here, he's really here. That's great. Wuxia was trembling with excitement. Then he glanced at the others on the peak. This time, he wasn't the only one who had set this trap. There were also other monstrous geniuses of the other races. Now that Lu Ming was here, these people would become his competitors. He was thinking rapidly about how he could take credit for Lu Ming's contribution later. But at this moment, Lu Ming stopped in the distance. He didn't continue to approach the peak. Lu Ming, you're finally here. Haha, looks like you care a lot about these dragon men. Wuxia laughed. I'm here. Let them go. Lu Ming said. I can let them go, but you can come over and exchange people for them. Also, get those 9-clawed dragon to come over, and we'll let them go. Wuxia sneered. Let them go first. Lu Ming said. Lu Ming, you don't have the right to negotiate with us. Come over first and we'll let them go. Otherwise, I'll kill all these dragon men. Wuxia shouted. Lu Ming's lips curled up slightly. It was obvious that there was a trap there. Asking Lu Ming to go over? Was he that stupid? Bang. Lu Ming stepped on the void, but instead of moving forward, he moved backward. Chapter 3676. Lu Ming retreated 1,000 meters with each step. In an instant he had retreated 100 miles. Yixie's expression changed as he roared. Lu Ming, you still dare to retreat? Do you want these people to die? Let them go first. Otherwise, goodbye? Lu Ming said indifferently and continued to retreat. He was very decisive. Clearly, if Yixie and the others didn't let them go, Lu Ming would retreat. Damn it! Damn bastard! Yixie and the other monstrous geniuses roared in their hearts. Lu Ming's actions had exceeded their expectations. They had originally thought that since Lu Ming had appeared, he definitely cared about the dragon humans. They could use the dragon humans to threaten Lu Ming and make Lu Ming fall into their trap. That way, it would be easy to take down Lu Ming. But they hadn't expected that Lu Ming wouldn't care about the lives of the dragon humans and would immediately retreat. They had waited so long for Lu Ming to appear. How could they just watch as Lu Ming retreated? Even if they couldn't use the trap, they still had to take down Lu Ming. Chase! We can't let him go. Furious roars rang out as the monstrous geniuses present rapidly chased after Lu Ming. So they've really chased after me? Lu Ming sneered. This scene was within his expectations. The heavenly palace had offered such a high reward. These people definitely wouldn't give up on him. As long as he appeared, these people would chase after him no matter what. Therefore, Lu Ming wouldn't be threatened by them. Instead, they would be led by him. Yixie was also a golden-winged person. His entire body emitted a golden light as his wings flapped rapidly. His speed was shocking as he chased after Lu Ming like a phantom. 8th-level Divine Monarch Yixie chased after him with all his strength. Naturally, his aura spread out. This was an 8th-level Divine Monarch. Lu Ming didn't dare to be careless. An 8th-level Divine Lord was much stronger than a 7th-level Divine Lord. At the same time, Lu Ming also sensed the auras of other monstrous geniuses. There were a total of 9 people chasing after him. Among them, there was one whose aura was the same as Yixie, also being an 8th-level Divine Lord. The other 7 were all 7th-level Divine Lords. The 9 monstrous Sky Prides unleashed their maximum speed and chased after Lu Ming. Especially Yixie and the other 8th-level Divine Lord youth. Their speed was the fastest, closing the distance with Lu Ming at lightning speed. Brat, you can't run. Winged Evil roared savagely. Really? Lu Ming smiled faintly. Beneath his feet, the Wind Destroyer boots appeared. With the Wind Destroyer boots on his feet, his speed skyrocketed. At the same time, Lu Ming vibrated his muscles and bones. A surge of energy gushed out from every cell of his body, propelling him forward. All of a sudden, Lu Ming's speed skyrocketed, surpassing Yixie and the other 8th-level Divine Lord youth. The distance between them was widening. Damn it! Yixie roared angrily, killing intent surging to the sky as he chased after Lu Ming with all his might. His cultivation is only 3rd-level Divine Lord. Even if his speed is fast, he can't last for long either. The other youth said. They did not give up, and kept following behind Lu Ming. Very soon, Lu Ming brought Yixie and the rest, and was about to arrive at the place where Ao Yan and the rest were lying in ambush. Only 2 8th-level Divine Lords. The rest are 7th-level Divine Lords. I can fight. Lu Ming's mind whirled rapidly. Presently, Ao Cheng and Ao Guan had both successfully broken through to 5th-level Divine Lord. Their combat strength skyrocketed, enough to kill a prodigy like the 2-headed wolf race back then. And Ao Yan's cultivation was also about to break through to 6th-level Divine Lord. Her strength was even more astonishing, enough to battle 8th-level Divine Lord monstrous geniuses. And Lu Ming already completely grasped the taboo power. His combat strength also skyrocketed. He was confident that he could defeat that Yixie. Therefore, facing these people they could fight. If they ambushed, they might be able to take down the other party. Hence, Lu Ming immediately transmitted to Ao Yan, Ao Guan, and Ao Cheng 3 people, telling them that they could take action. After Lu Ming lured the people to their ambush place, they could take action and ambush. Ao Yan 3 people responded very quickly. After planning it out, Lu Ming flew toward the place where Ao Yan 3 people were lying in ambush. Lu Ming flew past the mountain peak where Ao Yan 3 people were lying in ambush. Immediately after, Wuxia, as well as that 8th level Divine Lord youth also flew over. Aoyan 3 people did not take action. They were waiting for those 7th level Divine Lord monstrous geniuses. Several breaths. The 7th level Divine Lord monstrous geniuses flew above the heads of Aoyan and the rest. Do it. At this time, Aoyan 3 people made their move. They transformed into dragon forms, 9 claws stepping on the air, pouncing out like lightning, their speed swift to the extreme. One person dealing with one. Aoyan 3 people, each one's combat strength was above the other party's. Plus, it was a sneak attack. A moment of carelessness, and the other party was directly hit. 3 consecutive miserable screams. 3 of the youths had their bodies torn apart by Aoyan 3 people. Dragon roars shook the sky. Their souls were annihilated. 3 7th level Divine Lord monstrous geniuses directly perished. Not good, there's an ambush. How many of them are there? Suddenly suffering an ambush, the other party's heart was somewhat flustered. He roared repeatedly and even hurriedly stopped, sweeping the surroundings with some alarm and fear. I'll leave the remaining few to you guys to deal with. Aoyan warned Ao Guan and Ao Chung. Her body twisted, pouncing toward the 2 8th level Divine Lord existences in front. At the same time, Lu Ming's rapidly flying body suddenly stopped. He retreated, charging toward Wuxia. Boom. A punch punched out. The void trembled. Fist force surged wildly, crushing toward Wuxia. Courting death. Wuxia was not alarmed but delighted instead. What he was afraid of was not Lu Ming taking action. What he was afraid of was that Lu Ming would not take action. Taking action was exactly what he wanted. Golden light flourished from his body. His fingers curled like an eagle's claw, grabbing at Lu Ming. Break for me. Wuxia's eyes were sinister, and a cold smile appeared on his face. He wanted to crush Lu Ming's fist with his claw. He could already hear Lu Ming's miserable shriek. A moment later, boom. Their attacks fiercely collided. It was like heavenly thunder rumbling, shaking the void. Then Wuxia's expression changed drastically. He clearly heard the sound of bones breaking. Then, waves of intense pain came from his claw. Shwa. Wuxia's body retreated explosively. His claws were already completely deformed. 5 of his fingers were already broken. How is this possible? Wuxia found it hard to believe. He was very clear just how hard his claw was. Even if it was a peak monarch-grade divine weapon, he could crush it with a single claw. But when he grabbed Lu Ming's fist, not only did he fail to crush Lu Ming's fist, but Lu Ming's berserk strength had broken his fingers instead. His arm was trembling slightly. Even his arm had nearly broken. How can a 3rd-level Divine Lord be so powerful? That's right, it must be the function of that mysterious energy. Wuxia's thoughts rapidly turned, and he thought of that taboo energy. Of course, he didn't know that that energy was called taboo energy. That was because the Heavenly Palace hadn't made it public. Chapter 3677. Winged Evil was envious to death. I'm going to slaughter this brat and strip away that wisp of power within his body. Winged Evil roared, his killing intent even colder. But he had yet to make a move when Lu Ming already rushed over toward him. Lu Ming took a step out, his figure rushing toward Winged Evil explosively, both fists blasting out continuously. In an instant, there were over 100 fist seals crushing toward Winged Evil. At the same time, Aoyan already charged over, clashing with another 8th-level Divine Lord youth. While Ao Guan and Ao Chung 2 people were in a fierce battle with the remaining 4 7th-level Divine Lord existences. Kill! Winged Evil roared, erupting with full power, casting his source secret art, fusing with his wings. His pair of wings were like 2 divine blades, cutting through the void, slashing toward Lu Ming. Dang! 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 In an instant, Lu Ming's fists collided with Winged Evil's wings several dozen times in succession. In the end, Lu Ming was a notch stronger. Every one of his cells was fused with taboo power, indestructible, with boundless strength, beating Winged Evil until he repeatedly retreated. How is this possible? Some people roared angrily, seriously incomparably shocked. Lu Ming looked like he was just a 3rd-level Divine Lord. His combat strength was actually powerful to such an extent. It must be that wisp of power, it must be. Some people's hearts burned even more fervently, wishing that they could take Lu Ming's power for themselves. However, Lu Ming naturally would not give him such a chance. His attacks were like a storm, continuously charging toward winged evil. The winged men race was ranked 130 on the Great Desolate 10,000 races list. Their bloodline talent was even inferior to the top 100 races. Although he had 8th level Divine Lord cultivation, it was not that kind of especially heaven-defying. They were not like Lu Ming, who was a freak who could ignore the talents of different races. Hence, he was suppressed by Lu Ming for a moment. After the two people exchanged over 100 moves, some people felt intense pain in their palms and wings, the bones on them being cracked. In a head-on confrontation, he was not Lu Ming's match. Damn it! Winged evil roared loudly in his heart, giving rise to thoughts of retreating. But how could Lu Ming allow him to retreat? Kill! Lu Ming let out a long howl. The hegemon spear appeared in his right hand, while his left hand grabbed the sovereign's gate. He swung it wildly at Wraith. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, the Tyrant God Spear and the Gate of Gods did not pose much of a threat to winged evil. However, it was different when Lu Ming held it in his hands. Every strike contained the power of a taboo. Boundless power was applied to the Overlord God's Spear and the Gate of Domination. It was even stronger than Lu Ming's bare hands. Wuxia was even less of a match. After a few moves, Wuxia's arm broke and exploded with a bang. Blood and flesh flew everywhere. His pair of golden wings were also cracked, and golden feathers were flying everywhere. Winged evil frantically retreated, wanting to avoid the attack. However, due to his injuries, especially his golden wings, his speed was greatly reduced. Lu Ming seized the opportunity and pierced his body with his spear. The Tyrant God Spear vibrated, forming a terrifying shockwave that attacked Wuxia's body. Bang bang bang. Wuxia's body constantly emitted explosive sounds. This time, Wuxia was heavily injured. Save me, quickly save me! Wuxia roared at the others. The other 8th level Divine Lord Youth was incomparably powerful. He was from one of the top 100 races of the Primordial Wasteland's 10,000 races. He was also an 8th level Divine Lord, but his strength was above Wuxia's. Aoyin was actually not his match. However, how could Aoyin allow him to save Wuxia? Aoyin used her full strength, not caring about whether or not she would be injured. She crazily charged at him, firmly entangling him. That made it difficult for him to help for a moment. As for Lu Ming's attacks, they were even more berserk. Wuxia retreated, but Lu Ming raised the Gate of Gods and smashed it down, smashing it into Wuxia. Wuxia let out a miserable cry as he was sent flying. Half his body exploded. I'll send you on your way. Lu Ming took a step forward and arrived beside Wuxia. The Tyrant God Spear was as large as a mountain. No, my winged race's big shot is outside. You can't kill me. Wuxia roared in terror. I don't even care about the Lord of Heaven in the Heavenly Palace. Why would I care about a birdman? Die for me. Lu Ming shouted coldly, his attacks not stopping. This time, Wuxia was no longer able to resist. When the Tyrant God Spear smashed down, Wuxia's body exploded, his body and soul annihilated. He completely perished. The winged race had another monstrous heavenly genius die at Lu Ming's hands. After killing Wuxia, Lu Ming's gaze swept over the battlefield. Ao Guan and Ao Chung were both 5th level Divine Lords. Their combat power was powerful. Facing 4 7th level Divine Lords, they already occupied the upper hand. However, Ao Yin was at a disadvantage. Lu Ming directly charged at Ao Yin, planning on helping Ao Yin kill that 8th level Divine Lord Youth first. When that 8th level Divine Lord Youth saw Lu Ming charge over, his expression changed. Lu Ming killing Wuxia just now, he had seen it with his own eyes. His strength was shockingly powerful. Although his own combat power was above Wuxia's, he still could not kill Wuxia. For Lu Ming to be able to kill Wuxia, his combat power was above his. Adding in the Ao Yin whose strength was not weak, the two of them joining hands to attack him. Everything pointed to disaster. Also, the other 4 heavenly geniuses were also at a disadvantage. If this continued, they would be completely annihilated. Retreat. The 8th level Divine Lord Youth made his decision. Then he fiercely attacked with a move, attacking Aoyan. Aoyan was originally at a disadvantage, being continuously pushed back by the other party's full power attack. Taking advantage of this opportunity, that 8th level Divine Lord Youth's figure rapidly retreated. Don't think of leaving. Lu Ming rushed over and threw the Tyrant God Spear out. Swoosh! The Tyrant God Spear was like a bolt of lightning, attacking the other party. But it was blocked by the other party. Furthermore, the other party even borrowed the Tyrant God Spear's power to retreat at an even faster speed. Lu Ming rapidly followed, not wanting to let the other party off. The two people, one chasing and one fleeing, traveled 100 miles in an instant. An exalted 8th level Divine Lord being chased around by a 3rd level Divine Lord person, truly embarrassing enough. Right at this time, a mocking voice came from not far away. This voice was very clearly aimed at that 8th level Divine Lord Youth. Lu Ming's gaze swept over, and discovered that a youth appeared not far away. This youth was dressed in alternating black and white robes. His face was like jade, and he was very handsome, looking virtually the same as a human. It's you. When the 8th level Divine Lord Youth saw the black-robed youth, his expression changed, seemingly very wary. But instinctively, he heaved a sigh of relief. Instead, he flew toward the black-robed youth, landing beside the other party. Lu Ming also stopped in his tracks and squinted his eyes. This was because he instinctively sensed danger from this young man. After Lu Ming stopped, Aoyan also rushed over, stopping beside Lu Ming. Inyang Xiangyu, why are you here? The 8th level Divine Lord Youth asked, his tone very solemn, even reverent. I just happened to be nearby and saw you all provoking Lu Ming here, so I came to take a look. Looks like I didn't come too late. Inyang Xiangyu said, not looking at the other party from start to finish. His gaze had always landed on Lu Ming. Chapter 3678. Inyang Xiangyu's gaze landed on Lu Ming, his eyes burning with deep greed. To him, Lu Ming represented the position of Son of Heaven, represented a limitless future. Since I'm here, leave them to me. Inyang Xiangyu opened his mouth, and then took a step out. Boom! A powerful aura surged to the sky. 7th level Divine Lord. The moment Inyang Xiangyu's aura erupted, Lu Ming and Aoyan sensed that the other party's cultivation was a 7th level Divine Lord. However, Lu Ming and Aoyan did not dare to be the slightest bit careless. That 8th level Divine Lord Youth was clearly very respectful of Inyang Xiangyu. Clearly, the other party's strength could not be judged by cultivation. This time many monstrous geniuses entered. It was possible to encounter any kind of person. Even if they encountered someone who could fight with them at the same level, it was also not impossible. Swish! Suddenly Inyang Xiangyu moved. His figure flashed, and in the next instant, he appeared in front of Lu Ming and Aoyan. A snow-white longsword appeared in his hand, and he slashed at Lu Ming and Aoyan. After slashing out, the sword light split into two, slashing at Lu Ming and Aoyan respectively. Divine Dragon Slash. Aoyan shouted coldly. The dragon horn on her head was shining, bursting forth with a resplendent divine light, slashing at the other party. As for Lu Ming, he brandished the Tyrant God Spear, blasting it at the other party. Boom! Boom! 2 consecutive booms came over. Lu Ming felt an incomparably powerful force surge toward him. His body trembled slightly, and he involuntarily retreated 2 steps. Aoyan was the same, her 9 dragon claws retreating a few steps. What powerful strength! Lu Ming was shocked in his heart. Just one move, and Lu Ming knew that he had encountered a terrifying monster. This Inyang Xiangyu's combat strength was shockingly strong. Although his cultivation was only at the 7th level Divine Lord realm, his combat strength was much stronger than that 8th level Divine Lord Youth. The Tyrant God Spear in Lu Ming's hand was constantly vibrating. A crack even appeared on it. To be able to block one of my moves, you have some strength. Looks like if I don't use my true strength, I won't be able to take you down in a short time. Inyang Xiangyu was slightly surprised. He was surprised that Lu Ming and his companion were able to block his attack. In the next instant, a sword also appeared in his left hand. It was a pitch-black longsword, the complete opposite of the snow-white longsword in his right hand. Boom. His aura became even more violent. Two types of divine power circulated around him. One was black, the other was white. They intertwined and intertwined with each other. Two types of God force, an ancient cultivation technique. No, that's yin and yang energy. He's a genius from the yin-yang race. Lu Ming's expression changed drastically. He immediately. The yin-yang race was one of the top races in the primitive universe. It ranked 16th on the primitive 10,000 races list. Any race that could be listed on the primitive 10,000 races list was definitely a big race. They were the overlords of the primitive universe, let alone the 16th place. It was said that the yin-yang race was born with the ability to control both yin and yang divine powers. They were much stronger than others. Moreover, the yin-yang divine powers could give birth to special origin secret arts with astonishing offensive power. Any member of the yin-yang race could easily crush those weaker races at the same level. Moreover, Yin-yang Xiangyu was a genius of the yin-yang race. His strength was even more terrifying. Yin-yang kill. Yin-yang Xiangyu's cold voice came from his mouth. Then, he slashed out with his black and white swords. Sword light burst out like a storm, sweeping toward Lu Ming and Ao Yen. Block! Lu Ming roared. He put away the Gate of Gods and the Tyrant God Spear, and focused on controlling his forbidden power. Every cell in his body emitted a burst of power. This power gathered on Lu Ming's fists. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming punched out with both fists. In an instant he had sent out hundreds of punches. Hundreds of punches shot toward the black and white swords. At the same time, Ao Yen also unleashed her full power. Her dragon claws stepped on the air, unleashing a terrifying attack. A huge explosion occurred in the air. Divine light soared into the sky. In just a few breaths' time, two figures were crazily retreating. They were Lu Ming and Ao Yen. The two of them retreated over 10,000 miles before stopping. Both of them had new sword wounds on their bodies. Ao Yan's scales had been cut open, and there were at least a dozen sword wounds on her body. Blood was flowing. Her injuries were very serious. As for Lu Ming, he wasn't much better off. He also had over a dozen sword wounds that had almost cut him to pieces. But what surprised Lu Ming was that his injuries were rapidly healing. Even his opponent's yin-yang divine powers couldn't stop his wounds from healing. The forbidden power didn't just have powerful offensive power. It also had powerful recovery abilities. What power? Lu Ming's expression was incomparably grave. This yin-yang soaring universe was too strong. Even if Lu Ming and Ao Yen joined forces, they were still not the other party's match. If they were fighting on the same level, Lu Ming had full confidence that he could easily suppress the other party. But when the other party's cultivation was several levels higher, their strength completely crushed him. This is troublesome. Looks like I really can't underestimate the heroes of the world. Lu Ming sighed softly in his heart. Some time ago, Lu Ming and them had taken action several times. Those 7th-level Divine Lord monstrous geniuses were all easily killed by them. This made Lu Ming and them somewhat overconfident, somewhat underestimating the various races' heavenly geniuses. Previously, it was just that they hadn't encountered overly terrifying monstrous geniuses. But that didn't mean that there weren't any. Swish! Yin-yang soaring universe's figure flashed, continuing to charge toward Lu Ming and Ao Yen. Surging sword light swept toward the two of them. Its speed was extremely shocking, covering tens of thousands of miles. Lu Ming and Ao Yen joined forces. But after exchanging blows, their injuries became even more severe. Lu Ming was still fine. His recovery ability was astonishing, but Ao Yan's aura was weak. If this continued, she wouldn't be far from death. Ha ha ha, this Lu Ming and the 9-clawed dragon are dead for sure. Unfortunately, I didn't kill them. That 8th-level Divine Lord youth laughed inside. But unfortunately, he wasn't the one who killed them, so the reward wouldn't go to him. He glanced enviously at Yin-yang soaring universe. Then his gaze turned to Ao Guan and Ao Chung, revealing a greedy gaze. Ao Guan and Ao Chung were also 9-clawed dragons. Although he couldn't kill Lu Ming and become the son of heaven, killing the 9-clawed dragon would also give him a great reward. He immediately charged toward Ao Guan and Ao Chung. With this person joining in, Ao Guan and Ao Chung also fell into a disadvantage. This situation was very passive for Lu Ming and the others. They had fallen into a dangerous situation. Let's see how many of my moves you can block. Today's outcome is already decided. Lu Ming, I will trample over you to reach the peak and become the son of heaven. Yin Yang Soaring Universe was in high spirits. Yin Yang divine energy revolved around him, and his sword intent soared. He seemed to have transformed into two black sword lights that tore through the air. His speed was astonishing, and he instantly arrived in front of the two of them. Chapter 36-79. Yin Yang Soaring Universe instantly arrived in front of Lu Ming. Lu Ming did his best to block, but he was forced back. An even more terrifying sword light swept towards Ao Yin. Yin Yang Soaring Universe naturally saw that Lu Ming was harder to deal with, while Ao Yin was easier to deal with. He wanted to kill Ao Yin first before dealing with Lu Ming. Not good. Lu Ming's expression changed. Ao Yin was already heavily injured and couldn't block her opponent's attack. She would be killed. But it was already too late for him to save her. Fight! Ao Yan's eyes were ruthless. She planned to fight with her life on the line. Even if she died, she wanted to injure Yin Yang Soaring Universe so that Lu Ming, Ao Guan, and Ao Chung could escape. She was just about to burn her divine power. Suddenly, a strange energy enveloped her, making it hard for her to move. What's going on? This is space-time energy. Ao Yin was shocked. Then, she realized that the space around her started to ripple like water. In the next moment, Ao Yan's figure disappeared from where she was standing. The Yin Yang Soaring Universe's attack hit empty air. Space-time energy. Space-time spirit mouse. Yin Yang Soaring Universe let out a startled cry. He looked around and saw Ao Yan's figure appear 100 miles away. Ripples arose in space by Ao Yan's side. And then the figure of a young woman floated up into appearance. She looked to be 12 or 13 years old. She was incomparably cute, and her large eyes were blinking. Seeing this young girl, Lu Ming's body shook. His eyes were filled with joy. That was because Lu Ming was too familiar with this young girl. Although she had grown up a lot, Lu Ming still recognized her at a glance. Bubble. Lu Ming called out. That's right, this young girl was Bubble, who had been taken away by Senior Spacetime Spirit Mouse. After so many years, Bubble had grown up a lot. She was slender and elegant. Big brother Lu Ming, long time no see. Bubbles smiled faintly. Her big eyes were also filled with pleasant surprise. You know the Spacetime Spirit Mouse? This Lu Ming is someone the Lord Heaven wants. You have to help him. Yin Yang Xiangyu said. He could already tell that Lu Ming and Bubbles knew each other. His expression was solemn. That was because the Spacetime Spirit Rats were too terrifying. The atavistic Spacetime Spirit Rats could open wormholes. Therefore, the Spacetime Spirit Rats were on good terms with all the major races in the universe. Most importantly, the Spacetime Spirit Mouse ranked even higher than the Yin Yang race on the primordial 10,000 races roll. That's right, I naturally have to help my big brother Lu Ming. Bubbles blinked her big eyes. She took a step forward and appeared next to Lu Ming. She hugged Lu Ming's arm and rubbed her head against it. Long time no see. You've grown up. Lu Ming's face was full of smiles as he rubbed Bubbles' head. The Spacetime Spirit Mouse was indeed powerful. Back in the Lesser Kiliacosm, it could control spacetime. Now that it was in the primitive universe, it could still control spacetime. That's a gift. Seeing this, Yin Yang Xiangyu's expression completely darkened. He knew that with the Spacetime Spirit Mouse around, it was almost impossible for him to kill Lu Ming. Friend of the Spacetime Spirit Mouse, you have to know that Lu Ming is someone the Heavenly Palace wants. If you help him, you'll offend the Heavenly Palace. Offending the Heavenly Palace is something that even your race can't bear. Yin Yang Xiangyu said coldly. As long as you can't tell anyone, who will know that I helped big brother Lu Ming? Bubbles blinked her big eyes and said with an innocent look on her face. You want to kill me? Yin Yang Xiangyu's expression changed. Then he revealed cold killing intent. The Spacetime Spirit Mouse is powerful, but the Yin Yang race isn't weak either. You and I are at the same level. It won't be that easy for you to kill me. Is that so? Bubbles smiled. In the next moment, She directly charged out and pressed her hands against the void. Space shook like water, then folded and squeezed, trapping Yin Yang Xiangyu in the middle. 7th level Divine Monarch. This was Bubble's cultivation base. It was much higher than Lu Ming's. Lu Ming sighed. A peak race was truly a peak race. They probably had a shocking amount of resources. Lu Ming's cultivation speed was already very fast, but compared to Bubble, the difference was clear. Bubble's powerful space-time energy caused Yin Yang Xiangyu's expression to become extremely grave. Yin Yang Whirlwind Slash. Yin Yang Xiangyu roared and continued to spin. Sword Qi crazily spun, turning into a whirlwind that crazily cut through space-time energy. Yin Yang Xiangyu didn't dare to be careless against Bubble. He erupted with his full strength, and his attack was even stronger than when he was fighting Lu Ming and Ao Yan. Zzz, an ear-piercing sound echoed throughout the sky. Yin Yang Xiangyu's attack collided with Bubble's attack several hundred times. It had to be said that Yin Yang Xiangyu was truly powerful. He actually managed to block Bubble's space-time energy. Yin Yang Fusion. Yin Yang Xiangyu bellowed and the Yin and Yang energies merged into one. The black and white swords merged into one, and an even more astonishing beam of sword light charged in a certain direction. It forcibly broke through the space-time power, and escaped the area enveloped by the space-time power. Space-time Spirit Mouse Race. Just wait for the Heavenly Palace's fury. Yin Yang Xiangyu roared, but he didn't dare stop. He crazily flew into the distance. Chase him, shouted Lu Ming. If he escaped, he would most likely implicate the space-time Spirit Mouse Race. Lu Ming didn't want to implicate Bubble and the space-time Spirit Mouse Race just because of him. Big brother Lu Ming, there's no need to rush. This fellow won't be able to escape. Bubble smiled. He had no intention of attacking, but he was very confident. At this moment, densely packed runes suddenly appeared in the void around the Yin-Yang soaring universe. Endless runes spread out and intertwined with each other, forming a huge array. Huge chains condensed and wrapped around Yin-Yang Xiangyu. With me here, you still think you can run? An arrogant voice rang out. Then a young man appeared outside the array. The youth looked to be in his 20s. He was very handsome, but his face was filled with a ruffian aura. Nestle Dandin also came. Lu Ming couldn't help but blurt out. That's right, this youth was the world's divine turtle, Dandin. Haha, Lu Ming, you're no good. Not to mention your cultivation base being weak, you can't even deal with this fellow. If we hadn't arrived in time, you would have died. Dandin laughed. What are you talking about? Hurry up and deal with this person. Lu Ming's expression immediately darkened. As expected, he was looked down upon by Dandin the moment they met. But there was no other way. Lu Ming could sense that Dandin's cultivation base was also at the 7th level Divine Lord realm, the same as Bubble. As expected, a big race is good. Lu Ming could only sigh. The world's Divine Turtle race was an extremely terrifying race on the Desolate 10,000 Races ranking. They were ranked 15th on the Desolate 10,000 Races ranking, second only to the Space-Time Spirit Mouse race and higher than the Yin-Yang race. Chapter 3680. The 14th ranked Space-Time Spirit Mouse controlled Space-Time. The 15th ranked World Divine Turtle controlled Array runes. They were both peak races in the primitive universe. Some people said that if it wasn't for the fact that the Space-Time Spirit Mouse and World Divine Turtle races were too few in number, they could even be ranked in the top 10. It could be said that any one of these two races was a genius, an elite. World Divine Turtle. You dare to go against the Heavenly Palace's decree and help this person? You're treacherous. Yin Yang Xiangyu roared. His sword light was like a rainbow, trying to break the chains formed by the array formation. But at this moment, Bubble reached out and pressed down. The space distorted and a powerful space-time force crushed towards Yin Yang Xiangyu. Yin Yang Xiangyu's body stiffened. This opening was enough to decide his life and death. Kill! Dandin shouted coldly. Endless runes flashed and formed a battle sword. It flew out and pierced Yin Yang Xiangyu's forehead. Yin Yang Xiangyu roared. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. Pooh! The sword light accurately pierced through Yin Yang Xiangyu's forehead. Yin Yang Xiangyu let out an unwilling roar. His eyes were wide open, filled with unwillingness. Then his body fell to the ground with a plop. There was no longer any trace of life in him. The 16th ranked Yin-Yang race's top monster had fallen. This scene scared the 8th level Divine Lord, and the remaining 4 7th level Divine Lords out of their wits. They didn't dare to stay and wanted to escape. But how could they escape? The space around them distorted and a powerful space-time force enveloped them. Then the space shattered like a mirror. The bodies of the 5 geniuses were shattered into pieces. They did not even have the chance to cry out before they died. With this, all the people who chased after them had died. Amazing! Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Although Dandan and Bubble's cultivation were both 7th level Divine Lords, geniuses of the same level couldn't withstand a single blow from them. Even Yin-Yang Xiangyu wasn't a match for Dandan or Bubble in a one-on-one fight. It could be seen from the fact that he ran away. Origin ancient character. I can feel the origin ancient character. In his sea of consciousness, the quantifying character formula shouted. Who has the origin ancient character? Lu Ming's heart trembled. It's on both of them. The quantifying formula said. Both of them. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. Of course, he knew who the quantifying character formula was referring to. Dandan and Bubbles. He didn't expect that both Dandan and Bubble would have origin ancient characters on them. It seemed that after he separated from Dandan and Bubble, he wasn't the only one who had a fortuitous encounter. Dandan and Bubble also had a fortuitous encounter. Of course, Lu Ming didn't have any thoughts about Dandan and Bubble's origin characters. He was just happy for them. Ha ha ha, as expected of the people who follow me, Lu Ming. Each and every one of you is a peerless genius, a peerless hero. Lu Ming's soul power laughed heartily. Measurement formula, battle formula, bone demon. Ha ha ha, Lu Ming, I've saved you again. You're not strong enough. Follow me in the future, I'll protect you. Dandan strode over, laughing heartily and looking pleased with herself. Okay, since I've offended the Heavenly Palace, I'll leave the Heavenly Palace to you in the future. Protect me. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Dandan's face immediately fell, causing Bubble to laugh. Ao Yan, Ao Guan and Ao Qing flew over with surprised faces. They didn't expect Lu Ming to know the World Turtle and Spacetime Spirit Mouse. They were the top monsters of the dragon race back then, so they naturally knew about the Spacetime Spirit Mouse and the World Turtle. They knew how terrifying those two races were. If it weren't for their small numbers, they probably wouldn't be weaker than the dragon race. Moreover, one of the two races was good at the Spacetime Dao and could open wormholes, while the other was good at the Array Dao and was proficient in refining pills and arrays. So they had a good relationship with the major races in the universe. Come, let me introduce you. Lu Ming introduced Ao Yan and the others to Dandan and Bubble. By the way, why are you here? Lu Ming asked. We saw you in the illusionary divine jade, so we came in to help you. Dandan curled his lips. Lu Ming's heart warmed. Obviously, Dandan and Bubble came in to help him. However, you can't let others know about your whereabouts. Once the Heavenly Palace knows about it, it'll be bad for your two races. Lu Ming said. Dandan and Bubble were silent. Over the years, they had cultivated in the two races and naturally knew a lot of things. They also knew how terrifying the Heavenly Palace was. No matter how strong their two races were, they couldn't compete with the Heavenly Palace. In the great desolate universe, the Heavenly Palace was supreme. This was not just a saying. Wait here for a while. We'll go and release those dragon humans, Lu Ming said. Then he went to the mountain in front with Ao Yan and the others and released all the dragon humans. There was also the 8-clawed divine dragon. The 8-clawed divine dragon was overjoyed when it saw Ao Yan and decided to follow her. In the near future, the people from beyond the heavens will be harmful to us. You'd better find a secret place to hide. Don't come out. Ao Yan warned the dragon humans and told them to find a secret place to hide. Then, with the 8-clawed divine dragon, Dandan, and Bubble, they secretly returned to Penglai Island. Not long after Lu Ming and the others left, a few prodigies came to the place where Yin-Yang Xiangyu and the others were killed. When they arrived, their faces were very ugly. This is Yin-Yang Xiangyu. When they saw Yin-Yang Xiangyu's corpse, their faces were very serious. Lu Ming deliberately left Yinyang Xiangyu's corpse behind to give the other prodigies a strong counterattack. Even Yinyang Xiangyu of the Yinyang race is dead. Lu Ming and the remaining members of the dragon race are probably very strong. We'd better spread the news and let the others be careful. It's best if we work together. If we act alone, we might be defeated one by one. Okay. In the end, a few prodigies sent the news to the illusory space. It immediately caused a huge commotion. This time, Wuxia and the others used an 8-clawed divine dragon and a large number of dragon humans to force Lu Ming to show himself. In the end, Lu Ming showed himself, but Wuxia and the others lost their lives. Even the Yinyang race's monstrous prodigy, Yinyang Xiangyu, was killed. It was really shocking. The result was that the winged men race's powerhouses were furious. The Yinyang race's powerhouses also spread the news that they must kill Lu Ming. When Lu Ming saw this, he smiled faintly. Now his state of mind was very calm. Even the Heavenly Palace wanted to deal with him. Why would he care about the winged men race and the Yinyang race? After returning to Penglai Island, Lu Ming and the others began to discuss and prepare to continue fighting back against the other prodigies. With the addition of Bubble and Faint, he was much more confident. However, the premise was that Dandan and Bubble could not be exposed. Chapter 3681. Ao Yen formed a hand seal, and images appeared one after another. She was using the surveillance array to monitor the prodigies of the various races, looking for targets to attack. However, most of the scenes were empty. There was no one in sight. Only a few images showed the figures of the various races' prodigies, but these prodigies were all in groups. It seems that these people have become very cautious after knowing that Yinyang Xiangyu and the others have been killed. It will be difficult to attack if they all gather together. Ao Yen frowned. There are so many prodigies from the various races. There must be someone who is alone. Watch me. Dandan walked over and waved his hands. Immediately, countless runes appeared in the void. Then, images appeared one after another. These are runes. Ao Yan's pupils shrank, and she was amazed. Dandan's understanding of runes and formations had reached the acme of perfection. Cultivators would usually dabble in runes and formations, but it was usually used to assist in cultivation. For example, Ao Yen thought that she was talented in runes and formations, but compared to Dandan, she was far inferior. The origin ancient runes that this guy obtained can't be that guy's formation, right? In his sea of consciousness, the quantifying character formula muttered. Lu Ming's expression was normal. At least a few thousand images appeared in the sky, and the scene in each image was different. This is the surveillance array. Lu Ming said. Yes, during this period of time, Bubble and I have traveled all over the dragon race's mother planet, and set up mini formations everywhere. How is it? It's much stronger than your surveillance array, right? Dandan looked at Ao Yen proudly. This guy still cared about his face. Amazing. Ao Yen, Ao Guan, and the others exclaimed in admiration, causing Dandan to grin from ear to ear. Then they carefully looked at the images. There were a total of 5,000 to 6,000 images, and the surveillance range was much larger. Many of the images had figures appearing. Soon, they discovered that some of the prodigies who were alone or in small numbers had gathered together. These few are alone and can't attack. They are shockingly strong. If we attack together, we will all die. Dandan pointed at a few prodigies who were alone. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. If even Dandan said so, these people were definitely terrifying existences. Do you know anything about these people? Lu Ming asked. I know a bit. Bubble and I have deliberately approached those people, so we know their approximate cultivation bases. Dandan said. Lu Ming was quite touched. It was obvious that Dandan and Bubbles had done this because of him. They had purposely approached these people and investigated their backgrounds. If you want to make a move, you can do it here, here, or here. These people aren't very strong, and I've marked every single one of the surveillance formations. It'll be easy to find them, Dandan said. All right, then let's go. This time, we'll kill them until they're afraid. We'll kill them until they don't dare to stay here and scram out of the dragon race's mother planet. A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. After the discussion, Lu Ming, Dandan, Bubbles, Ao Yen, Ao Guan, and Ao Cheng left Penglai Island. "I'll open the way," Bubbles said. She waved her hands, and the void fluctuated. A passage appeared. "This is a wormhole." Lu Ming was shocked. "Yes, but with my current cultivation base, I can only open a short-distance wormhole. If it's too far, I won't be able to," Bubbles said. On the side, Ao Yen and the others were amazed. She was only a 7th-level Divine Lord, but she could already open a wormhole. This was really shocking. Even if it was only a short distance. Lu Ming thought of Wan Shun. When Wan Shun was a 2nd-level Divine Lord, he could already open a short-distance wormhole. Bubbles was an expert in space-time. Her cultivation base had already reached the 7th-level Divine Lord. And she also controlled an ancient origin word. It wasn't surprising that she could open a short-distance wormhole. "Let's go." Lu Ming and the others stepped into the wormhole and disappeared. In the middle of a lake, there was a small island. This was originally the territory of a dragon human force, but now it was occupied by a few outsider prodigies. These prodigies were from the Fire God race. The Fire God race was ranked 85th on the primeval 10,000 races list. It was also an extremely powerful race. This race was known as the innate Fire God. They were the incarnation of flames, and their control of flames had reached a superb level. This time, a total of 5 prodigies from the Fire God race entered the dragon race's mother planet and gathered together. They began to look for Lu Ming. After not finding him for so long, they began to occupy some ruins and sacred grounds, plundering the resources inside. At this time, the 5 prodigies from the Fire God race were discussing how to occupy more ruins and sacred grounds and plunder more resources. The resources of the dragon race's mother planet made them extremely excited. Even if they didn't kill Lu Ming, as long as they cultivated here for a period of time and plunder a large amount of resources, their cultivation base would also improve by leaps and bounds. "What's going on? Why do I feel that the world has suddenly quietened down?" A youth from the Fire God race asked curiously. "I feel the same. It seems like there's no sound at all." Another youth from the Fire God race also frowned. "Not good, there's a problem. Be on guard." One of the youth's face suddenly changed. Suddenly, in all directions, whether it was in the void, on the ground, or on any object, runes began to appear. These runes interweaved together to form a large formation. The large array formed chains that wrapped around them. "There's an array. Charge out." A youth from the Fire God race shouted. The 5 prodigies from the Fire God race turned into flames. The flames soared into the sky, emitting a terrifying heat. They tried their best to charge out, wanting to burn the array. However, the void trembled and squeezed toward them like water waves. Their bodies stiffened, and then the chains formed by the large array firmly wrapped around them. "Who is it?" A youth from the Fire God race shouted. Swish. The next moment, a youth's figure appeared. "Lu Ming, it's you. Why are you here?" The 5 prodigies from the Fire God race shouted in shock. "I'll send you on your way," Lu Ming said coldly. He unleashed all his strength and punched out continuously. Boom. Boom. A terrifying explosion erupted. The bodies of the 5 prodigies from the Fire God race exploded, turning into balls of flames. However, the flames quickly gathered, and their bodies appeared again, but their auras were much weaker. "Kill!" Lu Ming hollered. His fingers were like swords as he pointed at their glabella. A terrifying force penetrated them and destroyed their souls directly. The 5 prodigies from the Fire God race fell. Their bodies collapsed on the ground, and their eyes revealed their unwillingness. Lu Ming summoned the illusory Divine Jade and recorded this scene. He then sent it to the illusory Divine Jade. Following that, they killed their way to the next location. Chapter 3682. In just one day, Lu Ming's group had killed 5 groups of heavenly geniuses from the outside world. This scene was transmitted to the dream space, causing a huge commotion. Everyone knew that this was Lu Ming's retaliation. This was Lu Ming's warning. How arrogant! Damn it! How can they appear and disappear so mysteriously? There was one time when I was rushing over, but I lost track of them. How can they end their battles so quickly? Those people aren't weak. Within the dream space, the various heavenly geniuses were discussing. That was because Lu Ming's group was too mysterious. Furthermore, the speed at which they ended their battles was too shocking. Some terrifying existences nearby had sensed the fluctuations of the battle and rushed over, but they had already lost track of Lu Ming's group. That infuriated the various heavenly geniuses, but there was nothing they could do. Many people were terrified, especially those who weren't particularly strong. There was even a group of heavenly geniuses who had entered with Lu Ming. Because they were too weak, they didn't dare to stay and left the dragon race's home planet. Entering the dragon race's home planet was very difficult, but leaving was actually very simple. As long as they kept flying high, they would automatically leave the range of the 10,000 dragon seals. At this time, Lu Ming's group had already returned to Punglai Island. The warning had already been issued. Now it was up to the various heavenly geniuses to react. Suddenly, over 10 figures appeared in a valley. Lu Ming's group can come and go without a trace. Furthermore, for them to be able to kill the various heavenly geniuses so easily, they definitely aren't simple. They either have some sort of treasure, or someone helping them. We have to investigate this thoroughly. One of them arrived. He was wearing black and white robes. He was also a heavenly genius from the Yin-Yang race. Yin-Yang Xiangyu was his younger cousin. That was why his killing intent was extremely dense. Indeed, this matter is too strange. Lu Ming's group shouldn't be that strong. We have to investigate this thoroughly. Another young woman said. I've already made an appointment with the Heaven's Legacy race's Tianji Haoyue. I trust that he'll be able to find the truth. Another youth said. All right. The Heaven's Legacy race's divination arts are unparalleled. With him here, he'll definitely be able to divine just what sort of tricks Lu Ming has. I didn't expect Tianji Haoyue to also come. He's here. Suddenly, many people looked in a certain direction. From that direction, a young man was flying over. This young man was very handsome. His eyebrows were sharp like swords, and he looked like a human. The only difference was that there was a star mark between his eyebrows. He was wearing a long robe, which was also embroidered with various star patterns. Tianji Haoyue. Many people's eyes lit up. Brothers. Tianji Haoyue cupped his fists and greeted everyone with a confident smile on his face. Tianji Haoyue, I'm counting on you this time. I hope you can deduce Lu Ming's background, what treasure he's using, or who is helping him. The prodigy from the Yin-Yang race said. No problem. Tianji Haoyue smiled. The Heaven's Legacy race specialized in divination, and was known to know everything in the world. Of course, this was an exaggeration. However, the Heaven's Legacy race was ranked 13th on the Great Desolate 10,000 races ranking, one rank higher than the Spacetime Spirit Mouse race. However, it will take some time. Tianji Haoyue continued. Then he began to act. With a wave of his hand, jade talismans flew out one after another. A total of 360 jade talismans flew out, enveloping an area of tens of thousands of miles. This area of tens of thousands of miles was where Lu Ming and the others had killed a group of prodigies. Then the jade talismans shone. Tianji Haoyue sat cross-legged in the air, divine light spreading out, resonating with the 360 jade talismans. Then his hands rapidly formed seals. In an instant the sky changed. The sky here was covered by a starry sky. Tianji Haoyue was using a great divine ability to deduce. The other prodigies watched in the surroundings, not daring to make a sound. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. At this moment, Tianji Haoyue's movements suddenly stopped, and the stars in the sky disappeared. It's done, Tianji Haoyue said. How was it? Did you deduce it? The prodigy from the Yin-Yang race asked. Look, Tianji Haoyue pointed his finger at the void, and an image appeared in the void. In the image, Dandan and Bubbles' figures clearly appeared. The two of them were using a grand formation, and the space-time Dao to trap several prodigies. Then Lu Ming and the others appeared and killed those prodigies. It's the World Divine Turtle and the Space-Time Spirit Mouse. The Yin-Yang race's prodigies recognized them at a glance. Damn it! The World Divine Turtle and the Spacetime Spirit Mouse are actually helping that Lu Ming. How dare they openly disobey the orders of the Heavenly Palace? Do they want to be exterminated? Send it to the dream space. Let the Heavenly Palace's Lord of Heaven decide. Immediately, they sent the information Tianji Haoyue had deduced to the dream space, causing an 18th grade tremor. The World Divine Turtle and the Spacetime Spirit Mouse were actually working together to help Lu Ming. This was beyond everyone's expectations. At the same time, they finally understood why Lu Ming was able to kill so many prodigies without anyone noticing. Not good. They know. On Punglai Island, Lu Ming's expression changed when he saw the contents of the dream space jade. Dandan and Bubble also saw it, and their expressions turned ugly. They could secretly help Lu Ming, but if they were exposed, the Heavenly Palace would definitely punish them. Dandan and Bubble had been with the two races for so long, and they already had a sense of belonging. They also didn't want the Heavenly Palace to punish them, but now they couldn't hide it anymore. As expected, the Heavenly Palace's Lord of Heaven was furious and questioned the World Divine Turtle and the Spacetime Spirit Mouse in the dream space. The two races' experts were shocked and claimed that they didn't know about this matter, and that there were already experts rushing over to the dragon race's homeworld. At the same time, the two races' experts transmitted messages to Dandan and Bubble, telling them to leave Lu Ming and leave the dragon race's homeworld. "I'm not leaving." Bubble pouted and stayed by Lu Ming's side. "This matter is going to be troublesome." Dandan muttered and frowned, but he also didn't leave. A few days passed just like that. Lu Ming. In the sky above the dragon race's homeworld, an incomparably loud voice rang out. When Lu Ming heard it, he knew that it was the Heavenly Palace's Lord of Heaven. "Although you're hiding, I know you can hear it. You're very good. Even the World Divine Turtle and the Spacetime Spirit Mouse are helping you. Now I'll say that the two little fellows of the World Divine Turtle and the Spacetime Spirit Mouse, if you leave the dragon race's homeworld, I'll let bygones be bygones. If you don't repent, the World Divine Turtle and the Spacetime Spirit Mouse races will be destroyed because of you." The Lord of Heaven's voice rumbled through the dragon race's homeworld and the starry sky outside. His voice was filled with killing intent, causing many races to tremble in fear. Chapter 3683. The Heavenly Palace's Lord of Heaven is a man of his word. Many races were trembling in fear. Although many races were on good terms with the World Turtle and Spacetime Spirit Mouse, they didn't dare to speak now. In history, there were powerful races that disobeyed the orders of the Heavenly Palace and disappeared in the long river of history. The dragon race was so powerful back then, but they were still destroyed. Now that the Lord of Heaven is furious, who would dare to speak up for the Spacetime Spirit Mouse and World Turtle? Dandan and Bubble's faces were extremely ugly. If this continues, it will really implicate the World Turtle and Spacetime Spirit Mouse races. "Dandan, Bubbles, you two can leave," Lu Ming said. Now he can only let Dandan and Bubbles leave. Since they have been exposed, Lu Ming can't implicate them. "Brother Lu Ming." "I won't leave." Bubbles gritted her teeth. "I'll stay too," Dandan said. "What are you two staying for? Leave. Do you want the World Turtle and Spacetime Spirit Mouse races to be destroyed?" Lu Ming deliberately said with a cold face. "There is another reason. Dandan and Bubbles must leave. Now that they have been exposed, Dandan and Bubbles will be in danger if they follow him. Who knows what the Heavenly Palace has up their sleeves? Therefore, Dandan and Bubbles must leave and draw a line with him." Boom. At this moment, the sky suddenly shook violently. Then a voice sounded. "Bubbles, get out here." This is a woman's voice. There is some urgency and anger in her voice. "Master." Bubbles' body trembled. Her eyes showed a struggling look. Her master is here, the middle-aged woman who took her away back then. "Dandan, you bastard, you turtle bastard, get out here, do you want to die?" Then, another boorish voice sounded. "This old man is here too." Dandan whispered. His face was also full of struggle. The Spacetime Spirit Mouse and the World Turtle had both arrived, and they were people who were very close to Bubble Dandan. "Dandan, Bubble, you two can leave," Lu Ming said. "Big brother Lu Ming." Bubbles was still hesitating. "Let's go. Leave now." Otherwise, don't blame me for turning hostile. Don't you understand me? I've seen all sorts of storms. Even the heavenly palace can't do anything to me. In the future, we will still have a chance to meet again. But if you continue to stay here, I can only go out and surrender. Lu Ming stared at Dandan and Bubbles. At this moment, the Lord of Heaven, the World Turtle, and the Space-Time Spirit Mouse continued to speak. His meaning was simple. He wanted Dandan and Bubbles to leave now. If they left now, they could let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, the two races would face a calamity. Go. In the end, Lu Ming ordered them to leave with a cold face. Big brother Lu Ming, you must survive. Bubbles was reluctant to leave. Tears were in her eyes. Lu Ming, I know you will definitely be fine. I will wait for you to rise. In the future, if you want to kill your way to the heavenly palace, I will accompany you. Dandan spoke and transmitted to Lu Ming. Okay, haha, let's go. Lu Ming said. In the end, Dandan and Bubbles left. There were still two races behind them that they had to take into consideration. Roar. Not long after Dandan and Bubbles left, a dragon's roar came from the sky. It was very mournful and seemed to be in great pain. Lu Ming took out the illusory heavenly jade and looked. His face turned gloomy. What's going on? Why is there a dragon's roar outside? Lu Ming, what happened outside? Ao Yin looked at Lu Ming. Ao Guan, Ao Cheng and the others did the same. Take a look. Lu Ming took out the illusory heavenly jade and an image appeared. The background of the image was the universe outside the dragon race's mother planet. There were some figures in the starry sky. They could see the huge figure of the Lord of Heaven in the heavenly palace, standing in the starry sky. In addition, they could see a huge divine turtle floating in the starry sky. Lu Ming guessed that it should be the world divine turtle. Closer to the dragon race's mother planet, there were several huge figures. One of them was golden and had a pair of wings. It was the winged race's powerhouse. The other was the Wu people's powerhouse. At this time, the winged race's powerhouse was holding a divine dragon in his hand. The divine dragon had 6 claws on its abdomen. It was a 6-clawed divine dragon that was 10,000 meters long. Kill. The winged race's powerhouse shouted. A golden light flashed and the 6-clawed divine dragon's head was cut off. Dragon blood spurted out. This divine dragon is your reward. The winged race's powerhouse waved his hand, and the divine dragon's corpse flew out. A group of middle-aged and young winged race members caught it. Haha, divine dragon blood is a great tonic. There's also divine dragon meat. The winged race members laughed. They actually drank the divine dragon's blood and roasted the divine dragon's meat in the starry sky. Damn it. This bunch of mixed hairs. Seeing their fellow clansmen being eaten alive, Ao Guan, Ao Cheng, and the others were furious. They were so angry that their bodies were trembling. At this time, the winged race's powerhouse took out a bag and reached his hand into it. When he reached out, he grabbed another divine dragon. Just like before, he killed it and gave it to the other winged race members to drink. Lu Ming and the rest of the divine dragons, I know you can see it. You better hurry up and show yourselves. Otherwise, the divine dragon race will really go extinct. The winged race's powerhouse spoke in a cold voice. Damn it, I'll fight it out with him. Fight it out. At most we'll die. Ao Guan, Ao Cheng, and the others were so angry that they wanted to rush out. The divine dragon race was spread across the universe. Back then, the divine dragon race on the dragon race's mother planet was almost wiped out. However, there were still many divine dragons in the universe. Obviously, the winged race's powerhouse had searched the universe and captured many divine dragons to force Lu Ming, Ao Yen, and the others to show themselves. In the heavenly palace, the Lord of Heaven watched coldly, condoning such actions. Don't be rash. Ao Yen reprimanded. Although she was trembling with anger and wanted to rush out and fight to the death, her spiritual wisdom stopped her. Now there were very few divine dragons left, and the 9-clawed dragon was even fewer. They were the last hope of the divine dragon race, and they could not be sacrificed in vain. If they wanted revenge, they had to survive. Ao Yin stopped Ao Guan, Ao Cheng, and the others. They're going too far. Ao Guan roared, his eyes red. This grudge must be avenged, but not now. Aoyan said. Ao Guan, Ao Chung, and the other divine dragons listened to Aoyan. Although they were angry, they could only listen to Aoyan. Princess Aoyan is right. This grudge must be avenged, but we need to plan it carefully. Lu Ming also persuaded. How can we plan it carefully? Should we wait for them to kill all the divine dragons in the universe? Ao Guan said. Maybe we can find a special place to counterattack. Is there a divine dragon burial ground on the dragon race's mother planet? Lu Ming asked. Divine dragon burial ground? Ao Yan, Ao Guan, and the others were very curious. Lu Ming nodded, and the primordial divine dragon horn appeared. Chapter 3684. The primordial divine dragon horn floated above Lu Ming's head. This is, when Ao Yan, Ao Guan, Ao Chung, and the others saw the primordial divine dragon horn above Lu Ming's head, their eyes widened in shock, confusion, and disbelief. Could this be the primordial divine dragon horn? Ao Yan said with a trembling voice. She seemed to be in disbelief. That's right. It's the primordial divine dragon horn. I don't think the primordial divine dragon horn is among the origin secret techniques you've awakened, Lu Ming said. Indeed, he had some doubts in his heart. During this period of time, he had seen many people from the dragon-human clan, but none of them had awakened the ancient divine dragon horn. Even 9-clawed dragons like Ao Yan, Ao Guan, and Ao Chung, as well as other 8-clawed divine dragons, had not awakened the primordial divine dragon horn. Instead, they had awakened other origin secret techniques. It really is the immemorial divine dragon horn, a legendary secret technique. Ao Guan and Ao Chung widened their eyes and stared at the horn with all their strength. Ao Yan took a deep breath and calmed herself down. It's normal that we haven't awakened the primordial divine dragon horn. In fact, in the history of the dragon race, those who have awakened the primordial divine dragon horn are as rare as phoenix feathers. Why? Lu Ming was very surprised. He originally thought that the dragon clan could easily awaken the primordial divine dragon horn. That's because it's the war horn of the dragon race. Once the primordial divine dragon horn appears, it can summon the soul of a dragon to command 10,000 dragons. Anyone who awakens the primordial divine dragon horn is a peerless genius of the dragon race. Unfortunately, it's too difficult to awaken the immemorial divine dragon horn. In the history of the dragon race, there weren't many people who managed to do so. I really didn't expect that a member of the dragon race like you would be able to awaken the immemorial divine dragon horn. Ao Yan sighed. But soon, Ao Yan's eyes became brighter and brighter. Lu Ming, you're looking for the divine dragon graveyard, because you want to use the ancient divine dragon horn to summon a dragon soul, right? Ao Yan guessed Lu Ming's thoughts. Not bad. Lu Ming nodded. Sure. With the archaic divine dragon's horn, you can summon the dragon souls of past generations. You'll definitely be able to kill the various geniuses, Ao Yan said. Good, haha, let's kill him. Ao Guan also became excited. At this moment, Lu Ming's expression changed, because he discovered that the illusory heavenly jade was releasing another video. With a thought, the illusory divine jade glowed, and an image appeared in the air. In the image was a group of youths. Clearly, they were the geniuses of various races. The geniuses of the various races stood in the air, high and mighty. Below them, a large group of figures knelt on the ground. These figures were all dragon humans from all over the dragon clan's mother planet. In front of the dragon human tribe, there were a few divine dragons lying on the ground, their auras weak. Lu Ming and members of the dragon race, listen up. This is only a portion of it. You'd better come out yourselves. Otherwise, these dragon men and mystical dragons will all die. Also, we will go to the ruins and sacred grounds. If you guys don't show up, we will kill all the dragonians and divine dragons on the dragon race's mother planet. In the sky, a young man shouted with a murderous aura. Damn it! Ao Guan roared. The winged men were capturing divine dragons outside, drinking their blood and eating their meat. On the dragon race's mother planet, the various races' geniuses were hunting the remaining divine dragons. All of this was to force Lu Ming and the others to show up. This was simply too much. Lu Ming, Ao Yan, and the others also had cold killing intent in their eyes. Lu Ming, on the dragon race's mother planet, there's a place called the Dragon Burial Slope. Many dragon race experts in the past would be buried there after reaching the end of their lifespan. Over there, with the primordial divine dragon horn, you will definitely be able to summon the dragon soul to kill the enemy, Ao Yan said. Alright, let's set off now. This time, we must kill them until they are afraid. Lu Ming's eyes flashed coldly. Alright, we'll kill them all. Ao Guan shouted, somewhat impatient. The group did not stop and left Penglai Island, heading towards the Dragon Burial Slope. The Dragon Burial Slope was located in the middle of the Dragon Spirit continent. The terrain here was steep, and the slopes were connected together like huge divine dragons lying on the ground. On the slope, there were many large tombs. These were the tombs of past divine dragon race experts. As soon as he arrived, Lu Ming felt like his primordial divine dragon blood was about to boil over. This feeling was the same as when Lu Ming had been in the core of the Lost Star River. That was where the six-clawed black dragon resided. It was also this feeling that allowed Lu Ming to summon the dragon soul. But this feeling was countless times stronger than in the Lost Star River. Woo! Lu Ming took out the primordial divine dragon horn and blew it. A series of strange sound waves were emitted from his body. Roar! Suddenly, a roar came from one of the tombs. Then a dragon soul came out of the tomb. This dragon soul had 8 claws on its abdomen. When it was alive, it had been an 8-clawed divine dragon. A powerful aura permeated the air. The dragon power was vast and mighty, making Lu Ming and the rest feel immense pressure. Summoning the dragon soul. The dragon soul has appeared. It really works. It really works. Wonderful. The dragon horn is a natural commander of the dragon race. Ao Yan, Ao Guan, and the others whispered excitedly. Lu Ming continued to blow the primordial divine dragon horn. Dragon souls appeared in several more tombs. However, not all tombs would have a dragon soul appear. Some didn't. Ao Yan explained that not all dragons would have an indestructible dragon soul after they died. Some would dissipate after a long time. Some wouldn't form at all. After a while, Lu Ming put away the primordial divine dragon horn. The dragon soul also disappeared. Good place. Now I'll use the Dream Divine Jade to record a video and send it to the dream space to lure those people over. Lu Ming said. Then he controlled the Dream Divine Jade and aimed it at himself. I'm at the Dragon Burial Slope. Come if you have the guts. Lu Ming shouted coldly. His words were very simple. He told them the location and then sent it to the dream space. He believed that the various races' geniuses would definitely come. Those people would have doubts and worry that Lu Ming had set a trap here. But they would still come. That was because they wanted to take down Lu Ming too much. Moreover, Lu Ming and the others had so few people, while the other party had monstrous geniuses from various races. The other party had that confidence. Sure enough, after Lu Ming sent it to the dream space, it caused a commotion. Many people's eyes were burning. They wanted to make a move, but they were worried that Lu Ming had set a trap. In the end, a genius of a large race called for everyone to gather and deal with Lu Ming together. A few days later, a large number of figures gathered on a peak. Swish, swish. In the sky there were still people flying over. The various races' geniuses were gathered here. At the peak of the mountain stood several figures. The other geniuses were far away from these figures, looking at them with fear in their eyes. These figures were the strongest group of people who had entered the dragon race's mother planet this time. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.